comboio Alfa CP Comboios de Portugal, procedente de Lisboa-Santa Apolónia e com destino a Braga, que deverá dar entrada na linha número 1. Circula com um atraso de 5 minutos. A sua hora prevista de chegada é às 16 horas e 15 minutos. Pedimos a vossa compreensão pelos incómodos causados. Dentro de minutos, dará entrada na linha número 1. O comboio.
Intervento do Darwin Nunes ao que abriu o marcador. Os adeptos acreditam. A luz pode explodir outra vez. E a luz hoje quem vai gritar o gol. Se a bola entrar, vão ser os adeptos. Eu depois vou acompanhar. Ai, ele vai atirar. Ele vai atirar. Ele vai atirar. Ele vai atirar.
All right, bada bangs to the forever eternal champion. It is absolutely. So that's what we decided to start off with today. We got myself and my good friend Alex. That's the two of us.
What's up, brother?
Just the dynamic duo.
It's good. It's an old school show today.
Old school show. Just missing the dialogue from back in the day.
For sure. But definitely a great way to start the show, Mario. Happy birthday to the king, the man, the myth, the legend, Eusebio. God, we can sit here, we can have our own show just about what he means to the club and what he means to the club back then and to this day. You know what I mean? So I just want to send a shout out to Eusebio. Happy birthday. And real quick, just shout out to the commentary who's really, I caught an English commentary. I got an English stream today. They were really, they mentioned it a couple times, you know what I mean? So it's nice to get, that recognition from outside the box, if you will. But yeah, man, happy birthday to the king.
Yeah, man. There's a random story. It was more when I was younger, and I just remember watching, you watch Portuguese TV and stuff, right? And it was just this random thing, and it was like a reporter, and he walked in some kind of coffee shop, and Eusebio was there, and then some guy got the camera, and he kind of went, he's like, "Oh, Eusebio, can we do an interview?" And he's just chilling, and he had a nice chat with this guy, and it was this really like just chill discussion. And the guy was just a very cool, relaxed cat. Like he never came across high strung, he always just really relaxed, just very confident who he is. Not isolated in a bubble either, just hung around with the fans and the people quite a bit, which was awesome. Just a really good role model legend, honored to have that kind of legend at a club forever in a sense, right? So
yeah. And not just a symbol of Benfica football, but Portuguese football. So his ties run deeper than just Benfiquistas. In some cases, to the respectful ones and the ones who know. So yeah, man, we couldn't have started any other way but to send a shout out for the Panthers' birthday. You know what I mean? The Black Panther, baby. Come on now.
Exactly.
So that every time I hear that, I always think of Forrest Gump when he was like, "Sorry, I ruined your Black Panther party."
That's hilarious, man. In fact, now that's what I'm gonna think every single time.
Yeah, every time someone says Black Panther, you're gonna think, "Sorry, I ruined your Black Panther party." Yeah.
Yeah, the next Black Panther movie, they got to throw that in there also.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my god! So I quickly cobbled up this episode, just goofing off earlier on, and kind of, tonight's show is the Benfica Vance, the most important cup to dream of that the players, there's Mbappe when he famously won it with France for the Taca da Liga. But you know what? Jokes aside, it's exciting to be going to a final with this club.
Sure.
We'll get into like the details of the match, but there is an excitement, man. Penalties, they said in the chat, it's something that causes nothing but suffering. But penalties are my favorite thing to watch when you win them.
Really? Oh yeah. I got you. You had me at penalties are my favorite. I was ready to react. I was ready to
It's
jump
like,
on you. Like, what
yeah,
are you talking about? It's the worst
touch
part
the
of the
wind,
game.
touch the wind. It ruins everything.
Definitely.
No, but I tell you,
Definitely.
it's like from the Euros so far, Ricardo taking off his gloves and winning it for Portugal, to stuff like that. And
True.
I absolutely think it's the worst shit possible ever when Benfica lost to Sevilla and all the other shit that happened. I absolutely hate it.
Hey,
So,
real quick, and I wanted to check this out. When was the last time Benfica went to the final, to a penalty shootout? When was our last penalty shootout? Is anybody in the boom boom? And real quick, just shout out to the boom boom room. You know what I mean? It's packed already. We got 9. We're gonna get 10, 11. The boom boom room's gonna fill up. So shout out to you guys in the chat for sure. And real quick, anybody off the top of your mind can remember the last penalty shootout we were in?
I am gonna look. I'm gonna try to find this. I don't know if I'll be able to find this.
It's been a while, man.
It's been a while, actually. You are right. It's been a long time. So us winning on PK. So this would be. Let me see if I can find it. What will this kind of even come up as on this?
Last season versus Paço Ferreira. Really? Wow. We had it. I don't remember that. That's crazy. Thanks, Brian. Brian said last season versus Paço Ferreira.
Paço Ferreira. Let's see. Was that in the Taça de Portugal? I'm guessing, or no?
I'm assuming it has to be. Yeah.
Let's see. Paço Ferreira. Where is these competition? Allianz Cup. No, we got.
Good memory, bro. Because I honestly, like, I don't miss many matches, and I couldn't think of the last. It just left my mind. I couldn't think of the last time we were in a penalty shootout. But I guess it sounds about right.
Maybe 2 seasons ago.
If the man
was
said,
last season? Man
he said. If the man said it.
You know what? This is how we act as a show. We just take it as fact and run with it. And if anyone says it, we cancel them.
You know, it's true. David, real quick, I just want to get to this comment real quick. Everyone talks trash, but when you're there and you play to win, true, absolutely agree. Taca da Liga or not, today was a good match to watch. You know what's funny? And a lot of people, if you asked how was Benfica played today, they would tell you they played bad. Right. And I mean, it's not that like he said, it was a good match to watch today. I mean, it was a good match. I can't really explain why it was a good match. I just know that I was into it. It was fun. It was fun. I mean, yes, you're right. In retrospect, when you win, the game is always funner, right? If we'd have lost that game, obviously it wouldn't be fun, but it doesn't matter that we didn't. We won. That's what matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's really what matters.
My favorite thing in Portugal, and I'm going to be very honest, like I like watching Liga NOS, but I love Taça Portugal. And Taça Liga is also very fun because these teams played differently. Boavista played today like a team that wants to win a cup, a team that's in it to win a cup. If they were able to get the result, the penalties, it would have been 1 game away from them getting a title. And it's been years since they got a title. When you see Ash playing a tournament, when you see all these different clubs playing a tournament, the dynamic and the formula changes completely. And I love it because sometimes these clubs in Liga NOS, they kind of go, oh, we'd be content with a draw. You know what I mean? Like they're content with like stealing a point. Where here, it's not a point. It's either win or lose it. Either you're in or you're out.
Yeah. And real quick, Glenn Gomes makes a great point. I mean, doesn't this prove we could deal with pressure? I mean, I think that's a reason why I like today's game. I mean, I always like to see my team, you know, I mean, this is the name of the game. You give up. I mean, it's liable. Someone's going to score. It's very likely there's going to be a point in the match, in a football match, where it's tied, right? And a team needs to pick themselves up and prove that, you know, who's the better team on any given day. Today, Boavista, and we're going to get into it, but Boavista came to play. I mean, in the first half, it's a little different, but in the second half, they came to play today. And that's all you can ask is that your team respond, right? It went straight to penalties. That's not Benfica's fault, right? It's this whole COVID thing. I forgot that was going to happen. I'm gearing up for another 30 minutes of football. And the commentator tells us basically, you know, oh, we're going to shootouts. I'm like, oh, and he explains, you know, the COVID rules make it, you know, straight to shootouts. Instantly didn't like it. I was instantly like bothered by the whole thing, but like I said, we'll get into it. But I do agree with Glenn that it does feel like, you know, we figure it out. I mean, it takes a while, but it's nice to see us figure it out anyways, when we're given those chances.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm going to throw up the 11. I'm going to check something out quickly behind the scenes, get that video running. We'll get the 11 up for you, and then as soon as that's done, man, you can kind of go through your initial thoughts. Is that okay, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Let's run it.
Yeah, man, 1 second here. Let's get this thing going. Go like this. You know what? Let's. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Mario's on over here on a business call. While he's on that call, I'll run through the 11 while he's doing that. Today in goal, we had Vlachodimos between the pipes.
Oh, you didn't get to see it? Okay, next time you come by, I'll take a look.
We had Lazaro there on the left playing right back. Excuse me. We have Maratu and Vertonghen in the middle. Alex Grimaldo, everyday Alex. He's there in left back. We had João Mario, Julian Weigl, and Paulo Bernardo in the midfield, and Diogo Gonçalves, Yaremchuk, and Everton was our starting lineup today. Sorry, Mario. I had
to unmute it. Okay, just to give everyone the backstory. So this is the typical Portuguese thing. Coisa portuguesa. I'm right before we go on to 11. All of a sudden, I see my own call. Me and Mike. And she calls right now. I'm like, I'll call her back. Then I get the back-to-back call. She'll constantly call him. Like, something's going on, man. Like, she's calling back. It's an emergency. Something's going on. So I quickly on the side tell Axel, I'm going to run the 11. You run this. And then the thing kept on muting. They came by today when I was at work. They forgot I was working because, I do that every day, but, whatever. And, they kind of decided to dust off the front porch because we get a lot of snow here in Canada. And she was very concerned. Oh, Mario, you're out of the salt. The salt you put on the driveway so you don't slip and fall. Just be careful. You don't fall. Tomorrow when you go to work, it might be a little slippery. You might fall, hurt your back. And like this warranted the. So I tried calling. Mrs. trying to put a little one down. So I tried to call Cynthia, but she's an answer. You didn't answer. I'm very worried about the salt. You might slip and fall. I'm like, I love you, Mom. I gotta go now. I got this. I'm good. Don't worry.
Now we got the salt call out of the way.
Yeah, I got the salt call out of the way. Sorry, guys. A little bit of interruption as it kind of happens. But yeah, man, it was typical kind of hilarious things that kind of happened. My thing is that there was no.
But looking at the 11 today, though, Mario.
Yeah. Let's get that back.
Was there anything anything stood out to you? Anything you liked, didn't like about it?
I like the idea of going with this kind of, you go the 4 in the back, like 2 center backs, the 2 full backs, and kind of like the 3-3, like 4-3-3. When you're playing Paulo Bernardo, right? I feel the idea of him as a winger isn't good, and I know that's not the intent, but it didn't work really well last match when they kind of played around with it. I like him in this position. So initially when I saw it, and also Taça da Portugal, given the situation with the players and the COVID and everything else going on, I was like, I understand why I think Rafa was gone because of that. It made sense. It was a good, strong lineup. You want to win this game. It wasn't like we were playing the kids or nothing. Like we played quality players that we all want to see play. And then the only thing is when you kind of looked at the bench, Gilberto, I wish he was on the bench, but I don't know if there's a reason for him not being on there. But yeah, outside of that, I thought I was feeling pretty good about this, man.
Yeah, I was excited to see Gonçalves in the lineup as starter. Also, it looks like Paulo Bernardo is going to be, the guy in the midfield right now with Weigl and João Mario. So that's exciting to see, even though both of those guys, the 2 guys I was most excited to see, absolutely, I guess they didn't do what I thought they would do. I think that they, like Paulo Bernardo today, outside of a couple passes that he had, really didn't impress me today. Diogo Gonçalves, same thing. that whole right side of the pitch today was a little lackluster for me. But other than that, I mean, the team played. I think again, you have a different formation. I think that I know this is crazy to say it, but new coach, right? New tactics. You know, you're gonna have to get acclimated. I can't even believe I'm using the word acclimated in January, bro. But I am using the word
as we kind of narrow around and get close to February. That is it. And quickly, Brian corrected the record. It was Guimarães. I was looking Paço Ferreira, right? So I was looking, I couldn't find the Paço Ferreira result. I was like, okay, whatever, we'll just go with it. But Guimarães, that was the last time we won on penalties. But yeah, sorry.
And that was last year.
That was last year. So he was spot on, man. He's got a good. He's got a good.
Got a good.
You know, we faced one of the Sacanas from the north and got a penalty win. That's what he remembered.
Yeah, so I couldn't think that far back. Honestly, it felt like decades since like the last penalty shootout we won was the one versus Porto. Like that's the one I remember the most. You know what I mean? That's how it felt today. I'm like, damn, I'm thinking back, I couldn't think of it. But aside from that, the lineup looked good, and Zach said it is great learning opportunity. I know the kid is going to go through his ups and downs, but we're as fans who've asked for this, right? Get some youth in there, interject some youth. We're going to have to roll with the punches too. You know what I mean? We can't criticize every damn second. Right, exactly. This is what we want. We're all going to be on the same page. You know what I mean? Because I think the team really is going to. They say that the players are professional, they make money, but you have to assume that they feed off of the energy that they receive from the fan base. You know, the energy they get when they go to games, the home games, away crowds. You know what I mean? So I think, like I said, if Benfica fans are aware of that right now, I think we just got to understand, like, we still aren't that far. Sporting just dropped points in the league, right? We just won the semifinal today versus Boavista. I think, like, there are things to build on here. The season's not over by a long shot, but in today's game, just talk about the game real quick. My bad, Mario. But it's again the tale of two halves. Right. I think Charles Dickinson is probably the writer of Benfica. Like that, he must be the coach or the owner, because this is the tale of two halves every year. It's always like this. It seems like year after year we have this problem of, not finishing games. I can't understand beyond coaching what it could be any longer. Like, do you have to scrap it all? Like, does everyone that has to anything to do with this need to be released or removed or sold or traded? I don't fucking know. But what's the deal? I can't.
And can I say a weird thing here? It's like, it's the first half, an exciting back and forth match where, we got the lead clearly, right? Everton's goal. Second half, from a statistic standpoint, second half, like, we only had 3 shots. They had 10, which is nuts. Second half, we had 5. They had 9. We had more possession, but it didn't feel that way. It actually, like, it just from a feel, and when you're watching it, like the first half, exciting back and forth. We get the goal. It looks like we can get a goal, man. Boavista's out to play. They're giving us a good run. This is a fun match to watch. Second half, I was like, I don't know what it is. We kind of lost that little skip, that little extra bit in the step. And I don't know if it was, obviously maybe this a shout out to Bernard. Like, he didn't have the best game, but Gil Diaz, Ramos coming on, they kind of bring that on at the 63rd minute. And you kind of do feel, to me, those substitutions did not change the shift. And it didn't put them into, sometimes you go, okay, things aren't working out. They're losing the narrative. Maybe their wheels are falling off. Maybe they figured this out. Let's switch things up. And it actually, we went down in gear. You know what I mean?
I think I said that today. Speaking of gear, I actually touched on that today. I think my problem with Benfica throughout this whole season is that we don't have a second gear. Yeah. We're stuck in first gear, right? I mean, neutral and first. That's what we drive. We're still learning how to drive a stick. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it feels. It feels like we're just in the driveway, like practicing on going forward and reversing in neutral and in first gear. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it looks. If you know how to drive a stick, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. That practice you get right before you head out, right? You're just making sure you get those 2 feet, you know what I mean, to line up correctly, right? And it just doesn't feel like Benfica ever have a moment where you could see them turn it on. Like, all of a sudden they turned it on. You could see that with teams who play Benfica, because that's how you beat Benfica. you got to go in extra gear. You have to go in extra note
You
higher
got to
than
step it
them.
up. You got to step it up.
You got to
Like,
step it up.
This
Yeah,
ain't
because
Boavista versus Pastrana. This Boavista
they're
against
soft.
Benfica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. They're soft. They won't respond well to that. So if you could go into a game against Benfica and turn it up, and that's what happens. That's kind of what happens. The team goes into the first half and notice that Benfica has not taken advantage of many shot opportunities, right? Benfica work for nothing. It's all this hard work on the pitch, all these passes, all this movement for nothing, for a terrible shot on goal or a bad pass at the end, right? The results that doesn't translate. The work is not translating into results. I've never seen a team pass so many times and run so many times for nothing, like for absolutely nothing. It's 1-0 to Boavista, and Boavista beat some good teams on the way here, right? They beat some good teams on the way to semifinal. If I'm not mistaken, they beat Braga on the way to get here, right? So they're not like a pushover, like not by any means in this tournament. I'm talking about a tournament,
yeah, and
right?
I believe in these tournaments. To me, it's you can't take the current kind of way they are in the Liga. Like if you look in the Liga itself, yeah, Boavista's middle of the table, things of sort. But at the same time, when you're in a cup tournament semifinal, one game, winner takes all,
anything can happen.
It's a different monster. And the neat thing I like about this is it's all of a sudden. Let's see what happens with Sporting, right? We get an advantage here.
I'll tell you why, Benfica fan. Go ahead, my bad, Mario. I'll tell you why PZ came on.
I'll say my quick bit. The one advantage Benfica get right now in this cup final is we're in a situation where tomorrow Sporting faces Santa Clara, and on Saturday we play for this title. We just had a tough match, did the penalties, and now the Shishi Kama. And tomorrow they can do a little training. Take a light. Sporting plays tomorrow. We have that extra day of rest and on a tight schedule where like Sporting plays on a Wednesday and then a couple days later they're facing Benfica. There's a little edge I think we got. Now Sporting to me have been playing way better, but there's no excuses. Like if it was the other way around where Sporting played first and Benfica played second and we play like shit against Sporting, there's 1,000,010 excuses that are going to come out of the woodwork saying, oh, we didn't win because of X. There's no excuses. We got an extra day's rest. We got fresh legs, we got fresh players, and it's up to us to win a cup to actually come out and brag about something and be happy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we're all happy we won this game. And real quick, I just want to answer that question.
That was a wild match. Sorry,
Zachary touches on a point with intent that maybe they thought they were going to go to penalties and PZ, and we'll talk about that a little later. We'll want to talk about the goal from Everton and all that. But we had no striker. We had no other striker on the bench today. It was just Chuck. Darwin
Ramush was the only one that
Ramush was already in, right? Ramush got subbed in already.
Yeah, subbed in.
Chuck is not doing anything. Yeah, Chuck is not doing anything.
They come out.
PZ is the only. I mean, that's the only option. I seen Verissimo getting a lot of flack for it. I mean, for some substitutions he made that weren't very effective. I thought Metes was very effective today. I thought, and that Peasy one was like out of necessity. Like we literally already, Chuck wasn't doing anything. Absolutely nothing. Again, with his minutes against Boavista.
I just look at this though. I know Chuck wasn't doing anything. Pizzi has a higher conversion rate on penalties. So, who do I want taking a penalty, Pizzi or Chuck? But today it didn't work out. However, it isn't a Pizzi or Chuck. It could have been Pizzi, and he could have taken out someone else. That was because I think if I have Chuck about to take a PK, I have a certain level of confidence on that penalty.
João Mario could have came out. Weigl, you couldn't take Weigl out. He was a killing shit today. He was an absolute monster today. Passing, going forward, defending.
Well, yeah, and I guess it's also on the training ground, right? Like what are they seeing on the training ground for their PKs? But you're only like 2 minutes off for PKs. My thing is I don't know, man, if I would have taken off Chuck, but it is what it is. We still got the win. I'm not saying that, I would still have brought on Pizzi for the penalty, even though he completely screwed up. And we'll get to the penalties in a second. We'll go through the penalties one by one. But like you said, the Everton goal was a thing of beauty. That play, it was the hustle. It was the grind. He was being grabbed on, pulled on, and like the keeper rushed them, and it was like a power shot right. Like he beat the keeper. amazing. He did such a good job
Oh,
with that, right?
he hit RB on his Xbox controller, and
Oh, man,
he finessed that bitch right in there, didn't
yeah.
he? You said it perfectly though, Mario. I couldn't have said it better about the goal. I mean, the determination, the hustle. He created that, and with a guy like Everton, that's what I'd love to see. That I'd love to see that type of energy and that type of still trying to get it. It's just a toss of game. Sure, he's getting minutes. But hell, he did everything he could with that. Well, I mean, between two defenders, I mean, he took it between two defenders and then gets it. I mean, it was just it was beautiful. What a great way to start 20 minutes in. I mean, anytime you score with that much time, you want the second one, because as a Benfica fan, you know what's coming. If you keep them around, if you keep them around, you keep them you keep leading them here and keep leading them to water, they're eventually going to drink, right? And
you kind of hope when you get that early goal. So the hope as a fan is, especially how these teams have a tendency to like buckle down, tighten down, put the 10 in the back kind of thing. You get the goal and it forces them to come out and play. Come and play with us. And when they open up, we should be able to demolish them. And when that doesn't happen, it's even more excruciating because these guys are coming at us. We're going back and forth, but they seem to be getting the best of us. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's just we're not capitalizing on the fact that they are opening their legs a little bit for us, giving us the opportunity to go, and we're not taking advantage of it.
Because like Zachary said, Everton did have an opportunity later on in the game to put it away on an easy tap in, and he just that's why I like to see the first type of goal, because I mean there's still something there, right? Like we know that he's not been consistent. I haven't seen much touch from him to get a tap in goal like that, but inexcusable nevertheless. But the first goal, still got to give credit to the first goal. It was a thing of beauty. Then, I mean, it's like you said, a back and forth game. The game was pretty close, evenly matched but to be honest, going into halftime, Mario, it didn't feel that way. Like you said, it felt like Benfica was kind of having their way. They were just,
it was a fun game where Boavista, when they got the opportunities, they're doing some dangerous opportunities, but it's an open game that we are controlling. And it feels like it's only a matter of not if we win, it's when we win and how much we're going to win by. And there's still a level of arrogance and confidence going into that. And then it just completely, went by the wayside as kind of the second half rolled on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like I said, like I asked earlier, man, that's usually how it goes for Benfica, the second half kind of debacle. But I have to give credit. I don't want to sit here and just complain about what Benfica couldn't do. I mean, Boavista really took it to them in the second half. I mean, they put Odie to work. And Odie earned his fucking check today. I'll give him that. That's for sure.
Yeah, Odie, the Odie saves kind of tagline that we joke about and everyone jokes about. My God, did he earn that slogan? He had. I'll say this much: if it wasn't for Odie, if we had any other keeper in net, we would have been out today. We would have lost.
Yeah.
The amount of point blank opportunities that Boavista got that had good shots, they're good quality shots, and Odie had to really bend his way through and dive and reflexes and everything. He threw everything at it, man.
I mean, the man is a cat. He's a cat. Yeah. I'll give him that. The man is an absolute cat.
Today he was on his ball, and and then kind of they made a comment early into the match. I was watching Sport TV for mine when they're kind of initially, the game starts off and they're naming off the players who are playing. And it's the first few minutes, and he said, "Well, they say is it's a net, which is not usual because typically Taca da Liga is the reserve keepers playing, not Odysseus. But thank God it was not the reserve keeper. Thank God we took this game more seriously when we played most of our main guys, because Boavista gave it to us, and if it wasn't for stand-up performance by him, we would have been complaining. We wouldn't be as happy. But yeah, man, craziness.
Yep. And then Boavista, we'll get to the tying goal here. Again, like I mentioned about Paulo Bernardo, it's going to be growing pains. It's going to be moments of a lot of learning. Maratu makes. To me, it's a unnecessary penalty. There was no danger whatsoever at that time that the Boavista was playing. He was going away from the goal with his back towards the goal. The Maratu played through him, catches his leg, and it's soft a little bit, but I mean, it is a penalty. You know what I mean? By way of law, it's a penalty. And like I said, those are the types of things that fans are gonna have to we can't. We can at the moment. I'm like, God damn, I'm cursing it, but then real quick, I understood that like Moratu has got it's
It would
Vertonghen wouldn't have made that mistake. It comes with time.
I think that's a case when you rewatch that replay. You knew that he wasn't getting that ball. Like the way he tried hooking his foot and the momentum of his body. The only outcome is you tripping that guy. And I think that's the difference between experience and inexperience is in the heat of the moment, flash second to be able to just make that decision. And yeah. And you know what? Look at that, Ruben Diaz. I want to put that up because Ruben Diaz, he not only did so many mistakes. When he had Ferro on, there was a point in time after I think it was the second season in that we were saying that, oh man, I like Ruben Diaz, but Ferro was playing far better than Ruben Diaz. And at the end,
do you remember when both of them had an own goal? When Ferro and Ruben Diaz had an own goal in the same match.
Painful, but it's a weird.
You can't make that shit up, bro.
Yeah,
you can't make that up.
Outside of like Ronaldo up front, which is an old man playing a young man's game up forward, I feel like the sport itself is like with age, it progresses from the back. The more wiser is the keeper, the next up is your center backs. And then you move your defensive mid can still be an older guy, older gentleman. You can have like a 10 that's like, middle age prime kind of thing. But you want those fullbacks, wingers, forwards being a little speedier, bit more younger, but it's that wisdom in the back, the center backs and the goalkeeping is so critical, and we've seen young keepers make stupid mistakes. The same with the center backs, but at the same time, man, I'm loving Rat. Like it's not a situation where I go, I never want to see the guy again. It isn't like he's doing this every single week, right? It's gonna be mistakes. He's gonna learn, stick with the guy, give him some love, and kind of allow it to happen. Plus, I like the idea we having the two center backs. I like the idea that if Otamendi's healthy and Vertonghen's healthy, you play those two, then give Jan Vertonghen a rest next match, play Morata, just kind of rotate it, man. Keep these guys fresh. We needed the rotation.
We've been calling that for a while, Mario.
Yeah, and we're seeing that now, which is nice, man. I like seeing this rotation at the moment. I kind of force rotation, but I still like it.
I think we should go to more of to me, more of a 4-4-2, but that's just me. I think we have a team. I think the players suit more. Yeah. Than that for a 4-4-2 because Chuck, man, he just doesn't do enough for me up there, bro. Like I want to like him so much because he's a like a what is he? He's Swedish, right? Swedish.
No, Chuck, Ukrainian.
That's right, Ukrainian. Sorry.
Sweet.
He's one of them. My bad.
The blondes.
The blondes. The big. Yeah, they're huge.
The Olgas.
Yes, exactly. So he's a Ukraine international. The guy's a monster. Like the dude is like you look at him and Darwin. I mean, these guys should be scoring goals at like just at any moment they want. Like honestly, like he's got that physical presence. But what's that saying? He looks like Tarzan, but plays like Jane. That's kind of his thing.
That's such a good saying. I have not heard that saying in a long time. I know that saying too, but I have not heard it.
Man.
Well done.
That's him. That's if you ever want to see Chuck, you look at Chuck before the game. Terminator. I'm Chuck. I come to score a goal. But hell no. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane, man. That's kind of what we get with him, and it's kind of it's frustrating because you leave him on an island. And in my mind, man, if you play for Benfica, I look across the board and I don't give a shit where you are on the table. I don't give a fuck who you are. In the league, the way I've grown up, or the way I've looked at it is I don't care who we're playing. Our players should demolish the other side. Like that's what we expect. All I expect is him to, take advantage of a weaker defense, a weaker team. You know what I mean? Like at some point you have to take advantage. I'll be right at one point. Like maybe he'll have a great game, at the end of the season when it doesn't mean anything. But I don't understand where he wasn't getting served. I sometimes I try to see that, Frizz. I do try to see that, man. Like, is he getting service into the box? But it's hard to say he doesn't get service when all we do is cross the ball into the box at some points, right? There has to be, good service is one thing, service he does. I think he gets the ball plenty. I think maybe where he gets the ball, he maybe plays a little too wide for my liking. I would like more of a stay central, bro. Stay in the middle of the pitch. I don't want you to fucking move. Like, don't move. But the fact that he can't score goals against these smaller clubs, bro. It's very concerning. He can score goals against international teams, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like, but he can't score a goal against Boavista. He can't score a goal against fucking Pash Ferreira. I mean, fuck, even Bodke can't score a goal. I mean, come on.
Now, can I say? I'll say one thing though. There's sometimes when a player's not performing to where we feel he should be performing, frustrated. Where I hold out a little hope in me and Chuck is when I go through, who he is. Right, he's 26. Right, he just turned 26 recently, and the 18-19 season he scored 12 goals. And the 19-20 season he scored 17 goals. In the 2021 season he scored 23 goals. And he's been progressively getting better and better. He's kind of middle, just turned 26, kind of that prime age. He's not having the best go with us early on. He's got 7 goals with us, but and 5 assists. But it feels like most of those were early on. He's pretty much ghosted out for most of the rest of the season. But I look at this guy and go, man, if we can just find the right approach in the training ground, find the right approach in the pitch, I feel like he's someone that could. Like, I honestly feel like Chuck, if he was playing for Rio Ave or another club in our league, I know Rio Ave's not in anymore, but it feels like he's at the Boavista. He feels like he'd be a guy to be scoring goals. You know what I mean? Like, there's a feel to him. There's a certain feel. Steph, I get frustrated because to me, Steph was like never scoring goals, had the one freakishly good season, and then kind of fell off again. So it's one of these things where you kind of look at the situation where he had to tap in against Ford. Yeah.
He did tap in one against Ford. That's right.
But the thing is, I think there's, he's done it on the league level. He's done it on the national side. He's just not doing it for us. It just doesn't mean he can't do it. Where sometimes when you have a guy that like kills it, but then he starts doing shit, and you kind of look at his history and go, "Oh my god, this guy's not really ever done much." He had one freakishly good year. It's a one-off. Whereas here, I think his one-off could be a bad season. I hope that's the case. I hope this is his bad season, and next season he does even better, right?
Well, last week, Mario, I said on the show, we all three of us, I think even Cynthia agreed, we just don't want to give up on him yet. Yeah. It's one thing to give up on a guy. We brought up Waldschmidt because I guess Waldschmidt's not playing too well right now. But Waldschmidt, where did we sign him to? Wolfsburg?
Yeah, Waldschmidt. I didn't like the Waldschmidt move, but he clearly wanted out, man. He clearly was done with this.
Right, but maybe it's not like, maybe it's just you gravitate to certain coaching. I thought maybe, I thought that he had the kind of skill set. I mean, like Joe confirmed last week, he scored 11 goals, 11, 12 goals for Benfica. It was in double digits. I mean, there has to be something there, right? For
Chuck, yeah, no, I think.
I'm thinking that for Waldschmidt, I didn't want to give up on him, and I'm that's kind of how I feel about Chuck, where I don't want to give up on him. I don't want to just give up like immediately on a guy like that with that kind of skill set, with that type of physical prowess. You know what I mean? Like I just and Chuck kind of played well under JJ, but when you see this guy, man, like Darwin and Chuck should be playing together. And the fact that it hasn't really happened, it's a.
I think this is the okay. We're chatting a little bit by text, and this is kind of one thing. We have so much talent and so many players that look like they got great opportunity if played in the right system with the right partner. And I look at this scenario where if we go from what we did today with Paulo Bernat, we want to see him. I think it's a better system for him. But if we go with the idea, what you're saying with Darwin and Chuck up front, I actually agree. I'd rather see that, and that's more of a 4-4-2 kind of formation. Paulo Bernardo doesn't really look well in that situation. We have all these cool pieces that it's like, okay, you know what? This guy will look better if we do this switch up, but then it screws up some other guys. So let's switch this up, and it screws up these guys. It isn't like when you splash out the 11, you look at some of these guys and go, yeah, that guy's good, but he'd be better in this system. Like there's no consistency. And I'm not saying these guys are all one-dimensional. They can only play one system. I really think that these guys can adapt and learn. Lots of them can. That's part of the sport, right? You're never going to play the same thing over and over again.
Well, you can't play 4 mids with a team with, Rafa and Everton on it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to work, right? So I think this team, I think you hit it, though. I think this team's not constructed very well. I think that's our problem.
I think we went from having a point in time where we had an identity where we played 4-4-2. Here's the gaps we're missing. If we lost a player, we'd be filling for that position in that system. And he had a collective of players that were all on the same side. And then these big money transfers started hitting about like 7 years ago, and they got bigger and bigger. And it became all about, okay, what's the next big dollar figure? Who do we sign? Okay, that guy looks like he'll get us big money. We forget the formation. We're bringing you for the big paycheck. You don't have to be loyal to the club. And let's hire another guy to do the same thing. Another guy. And you lost the heart, the passion, the identity of the club. It became solely focused on the transfers, solely focused on the very short term. And we kind of joked about it in a very sad way a few seasons ago, like this on the Brunelage, where we called it window dressing. You're playing all the Tavareses for the first game in the Champions League because you're just trying to market these guys to sell them. You're not playing a formation or guys together that deserve to play together. You're playing talents in certain situations because you're trying to mark them up for sales. And it got to a point where it felt like the agents were running the club, the business was running the club, and a few years of that has ruined this team and from so many levels. And I think they're trying to fix it, but it is not a fixable thing in 1, 2, 3 transfer. It takes a few years, in my opinion. This
You know,
is a full
it's
rebuild.
sad though.
It
It's
sucks.
sad. It's sad.
We were there. We were like at the cusp
about a couple
of being a
seasons
competitive
ago,
team into Champions League, competitive across the board, and we blew it all up.
Financially stable.
All
we
of it.
looked like a
Yeah.
team. We were on the verge of like really owning this. And I know we could go back in our archives and check, but I know that we were on the verge of kind of just taking over this whole league as far as financially, as far as player transfers during that whole João Felix sells, and then you had the Raul Jimenez sales coming in. It felt like we were really on to something. And look how it just a couple seasons, a couple bad seeds. Speaking of like guys like, I don't know, I'm calling them a bad seed, but guys like Rafa doesn't play in a 4-4-2. Well, you know, I think it's time to move on from players of that ilk anyways. You know what I mean? I think it's and we talked about this shit last week. I mean, we cut every damn player. We came to a 24. We came to a good 24-man roster last week. It wasn't really that difficult. I'm sure it's harder to do that in real life, but like this team has to be trimmed down. The lot of lone players are coming back. It's really kind of crazy. And Rafa hasn't been good for months though. Whether he's good in a 3-4-3 or a 4-4-2 or 4-1-1-1-1-1-1.
Rafa has not been good since Joe came on the show and said, you got this Luis Diaz guy. He's good, but people are sleeping on Rafa. Rafa's coming up. And you're going to see, this is like back in like early November, heading into like December when we face Porto. This is Rafa's opportunity to surpass and be the MVP of the season. And since that Joe discussion on the show a few months back, Rafa
I'm with that,
collapsed.
Marcos. And real quick, Marcos, I seen the shout out to the show. We really appreciate it. Welcome to the Boom Boom Room, bro. But real quick about this, I said this shit last week. Fucking Joe. Fucking Joe, bro.
Come on the show.
I agree. I think Rafa, you know, when they don't get their way, and it just seems that way because, I mean, you guys went four fucking 3-4 coaches now have been fired under the same type of group. Under like, do they?
Yeah, we need to switch it. We need to switch it up. We definitely need to switch it up. That's the main thing.
It's time it's time to go, man. It's time to go. It's time to move on. It's time to get these guys out of here. Thank you for your service. But we appreciate the 20 million we can get for you now. You know what I mean? Go to the PL. You know what I mean? Go to Spain. He'll do wonderful in Spain, I think. You know what I mean? I think because it's funny, but you know, Portugal's a little bit more. When I watch Spanish football, it's a little bit more fluid. Portuguese is rough. It's a little choppy. You know what I mean?
They got a chip on the shoulder, man. They got it.
Yeah, it's a little choppy over here in Portugal. So you know what I mean. So you know, you want to play when you want. You can go into to the Liga, to the La Liga. I mean, you can hide not wanting to play there. You know, I mean, that's how they all look. They all walk around. It's real smooth and fluid. It's very beautiful to watch. You know what I mean? If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, man.
But I'm not. But it is what it is. Like I said, I think it's time to move on. I think it goes. These things. I mean, we look at say, why does this team do this? Why does this team do that? Why does this team do this? Well, I mean, you've had the same group of guys for a long time, and although the names in the back of the jersey might change, it's still the same motherfuckers. I think we're gonna have to do a Scooby-Doo show and start pulling the masks off these motherfuckers, bro. I'm telling you, bro. We're gonna find Jardel somewhere in here, bro. Jardel's still somewhere creeping around. Somebody didn't really leave. You know what I mean? He's somewhere.
Carlos,
who are you?
Carlos,
yeah,
he's still here.
Oh my god, bro.
Hey, just to kind of switch it up, have a little fun.
Let's do it.
I put this on the members kind of video thing because it was still in draft mode. So part of what I decided to do is if I'm editing a video, I said, fuck it, let's just throw it up there. And it was almost done. So I fixed a little typo, but I made a little promo. I got to give a shout out to Boris because he's on the member side, so he saw it and I asked for feedback. And he said, make a little promo for it. So we'll do a little quick promo. We did, the missus got me a gift for Christmas under the condition that, we tried together, which was the hot wings, the hot ones. And I was like, sure. So we did record it. That'll be coming out in the near future, but here's a little promo for it. And then we'll segue into like the Streets match, all the fun stuff in a bit. Got it?
Yeah. Everything hurts. My face doesn't want to be my face anymore. It doesn't want anything to do with it. My shoulders are hunched. I'm in fight or flight.
I'm in more wing mode.
You're in what?
More wing mode.
No. I have such shivers. Like it's just going
my nose completely like down the nose. Holy cow. There's like an after effect that hits. Gotta get more wings. Man, look at that. All right, so shout out to Boris on saying throw that up there as an idea, and then we'll get it out in the near future. But the rough draft is on the member site, and then we'll get that out shortly. But before we get to the Sharisa match, we did want to go through the PKs, right? And I just got a couple things to say on the PKs, if you don't mind, Alex, and get your thoughts on it.
No, please do. Please do.
This is something that has been something I've always disliked, and then became to despise, absolutely despise, which is the little, really slow, and then
Crackheads? Are you talking about crackheads?
A little bit of the crackheads when they go and take a PK.
Okay.
and I found this fucking thing going on.
Okay, I got you.
The little cute. They're like, oh, look at this! I'm getting my steps up. Yeah, the tiniest
Pogba.
little. Yeah, and I remember they did it against Sevilla. I know the guy was off the line, but if you run up and shoot at the fucking goddamn ball. You shot the goddamn ball on target. Even if the guy tries to run off the line, you got a powerful shot on target. These soft-ass little walk-ups and taps, Pizzi missed with that. It drives me nuts, man. I hate that, man. I just hate it. You're a professional. You know how to shoot the ball. You know your spot. If you've practiced in training, you got your right, you got your left, whatever you want to do, and boom. And I always feel like these types of shots, there's one that Odie almost saved that Boavista got on us, and it's one of the few goals they got because it was pretty wild PKs with the amount of saves. Like they missed off the get-go, we missed.
They missed 3 in a row.
It was nuts. But there was the first shot Boavista gets in though. The guy runs up, rocket of a shot, pretty much down the middle. Odie goes like he's there, but it's such a powerful shot that Odie couldn't even like jump sideways fast enough to save it. He was on point, but it looked like it almost went through his body. Just take the damn shot. That's the only thing I got to say, man. We won the penalties. I love penalties when we win them. I hate them when we lose them, just like any other fan. But, man, those little stuff. And Boavista guy did it also, and it was like, you sucking, you deserve to lose this game. Like, this kind of stuff drives me nuts. Yeah. Mete also did it. He got a goal because, the keeper decided to jump.
That was cold. That was cold. That was cold-blooded.
But it felt like, again, it's a very dangerous game you play. And so, yeah. Anyways.
I mean, hey, I don't care. You could do backflips. I mean, you could shake your ass. You could twerk up there for all I give a shit, as long as you make the goal. I mean, that's how I feel about it. When you don't make the goal, then that's when you can give them shit. So like Mete, like he went up, danced, did some dance revolution up there, and he got the goal. It was cold. It was stone cold. Real quick, the thing is, I hate PKs. It makes me sick to my stomach. I watch games with full, emotion, full intent. I don't like it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's so weird that a football match ends even in this day and age in a PK shootout. But one thing I did want to take away from the PK shootout is the guy that kicked the ball on the sideline, the Boavista player who kicked the ball, ridiculously hard to the side. I think he might have hit somebody or maybe almost hit somebody on the Benfica bench.
Unnecessary.
unnecessary. The players told them, you could tell the guy was like, you got to use your head here. You got to yellow for no reason. That can cost you guys games or points. If they won that match, maybe, you know what I mean? Who knows, right? But Karma's a bitch because he came up and he completely whiffed and he missed the goal. I think, we could leave it at that. You know what I mean? I don't have to hate him anymore because they came back around and, the world won. I think the world was back to normal because I just thought it was unnecessary and I like to see him miss that. But Odie, that first save was stupendous. I'm very, you guys know how I am. I'm very, very,
Mike.
I'm very critical of Odysseus. And somebody said it earlier in the chat, and I apologize who it was, but he would be a top 10 goalie if he could communicate more off his lines and things like that. Odie's the kind of guy who doesn't let you know you made a mistake until after it's too late. That's my problem with him, and he doesn't know how to catch. He's a puncher of the ball. Like I said, he's a puncher. Good for him though. At least we know he'll never stop fighting. But for me, I'm glad we won the PKs. I didn't like that we went straight in there. It didn't make me feel good because Boavista kind of had the momentum. I think
it also PKs, doesn't. I'll be honest. It didn't feel good. Right. Maybe I'm just a creature of habit and like a stubborn old man that likes my ways. I feel if it's all drawn up, do a little extra time, do a little bit more time below each other, play an extra few more minutes, extra time. Then to the PKs. Something about playing the full 90 whistle blows straight to PKs without that extra time doesn't feel natural. It feels weird. I don't know what it is. It always has bugged me. I like the, we haven't finished up. Let's do a little bit. We'll give you each 15 minutes each, a little pass the ball, man. Come on, guys. Someone's got to win this.
Pass it. Yeah.
But to go straight, I don't know why. It never feels natural going straight to PKs like that after 90.
Yeah, I don't like it neither. It feels very preseason. Right, very generic.
Thank you. That's it. Yes, it doesn't feel like it belongs in the regular season.
Very International Cup, very Santa Clara, Texas, New Jersey. I completely understand. Real quick, I just want to kick it to the boom boom room real quick because Benfica fan he's had a couple questions in here. He asked earlier if we should have substituted Hector instead of Gonçalo Ramos. Here it is right here, right there, Enrique. Not Hector. I called him Hector. That's racist. Enrique Araujo instead of Gonçalo Ramos. What do you think? I think he
would have had to have been on the bench. I don't think he was on the bench, was he?
He was on the bench. The thing I think about that is that if it's 2-0, if we're closing it out, if we're gonna win the game, then you get the kids some minutes. You don't put them in a game like this where we really need. We really need to get the W. I thought Peasy was the right call, even though, we all feel, I guess not we all feel. I think I'm iffy on the guy sometimes. I don't think he's the worst player on the pitch. I'll tell you that right now, in some moments. But I thought it was the right call putting in Gonçalo Ramos. Instead, he's the one who's been there. He's earned that time over Enrique, in my opinion.
But yeah. All right, man. Let's should we match, play a match? Want to get into that?
Yeah. Well, let me see if there's anything else in here we might have missed. Mete with some fire ass crosses. Mete had some amazing passes. There's a pass where he kind of popped it off. He popped it off. He went from right to left. Like he just popped it, and it was just a great pass to get it through between two defenders. And I thought like that's the best thing I've ever seen Mete do for this team. I was like, that's the best. If I knew he could do that. Why haven't we been playing things like that? That's creativity. That's what I mean. We have no creativity. When you got a guy like this making passes like he was making today, you got to find a way for him to get some more minutes, especially if he doesn't have to worry about defensive. He doesn't look very like he wants to defend a lot. So let him out there with João Mario and Weigl sometimes in the midfield. I'm all right with that. Let him out there. Some size. Some creativity, you know what I mean? Why not? If Helton was playing today, do you think he would have saved any of those penalties? I think if Helton was playing today, we would have lost.
I think Odie had some amazing saves during the game that were just like out of this world. He had a great game. I think anyone else in that would have lost it. On the Mete thing, I just want to shout out also one thing. I've heard lots of good showing, good showing for a little bit of time. He got on an 30 minute, right? So lots of people giving love to Mete. Everyone's like, oh man, this guy was really good to impress in a short time window, man. Hopefully he gets a few more minutes. In
4
the
more
near
looks for sure, especially in
Yeah,
that
but
3-man setup in the middle, man.
But it's tough. It's tough. He truly is a defensive mid, is my understanding. So it's getting rid of the Weigel, and if you keep the Weigel and you keep Mete, then you're playing more defensive mid. When we know many guys just sit behind the ball, especially the mid-table clubs in this league, so we have to be more offensive. So it doesn't really.
You
It
want
doesn't.
You want
really
to
work
answer
right.
that? You want to answer that question that's on the screen right there?
I know, man. Just as a Canadian, it'd be nice to get a Benfica so that's a Canadian. We had Steven Vittoria for a little bit. You know, he's a nice guy. I played with him when he was a kid with, WWF wrestling figurines because we were little and some Sega Genesis. So his family's a nice family. Portisha family was still a nice family. Ish the guy would have been really, really cool to get. But at the same time, this is just a Canadian bias, man. It'd be like if Ish the guy was an American, Portuguese American. And it'd be you'd probably lose your mind if a Portuguese American played for Benfica all of a sudden. That is getting a lot of hype on the national team. They love him on Team Canada.
For sure. I would be rooting for Canada coming up in the next game if that happened. Just like don't worry, guys. The USA will take care of this.
Can I tell you a really
this
messed
treasonous
up story?
act? This treasonous act of this Canadian player who's done so many of my Benfica Canadian fans a disservice. It feels like I feel a lot of them are hurt. Don't worry about it. The Stars and Stripes will be.
We'll come to the rescue.
We'll come to the rescue.
I think there's some karma coming.
America.
Oh god. So quick story. So Team Canada versus USA this Sunday, like 45 minutes from my place. The way this got announced like a couple months back, and it's this mad dash to get tickets over a month and a bit ago. Tickets go on sale. I got Kevin from Quebec. He's in the chat. He's gonna come down, stay at my place. We got buddies in the area. We're all gonna get together and watch a match. But the panic is, can I get Blitz? Can I get tickets? So I get a pre-sale code. I'm like, man, I got the pre-sale code. Tickets go on sale. I get in within a couple hours, sold out completely. I got tickets, but it was like, bam. I was like, whew, that was a close one, guys. Didn't even make it to the public. I got on the pre-sale code.
Well, there are public tickets.
Yeah, I bought tickets. There's StubHub. So I bought tickets for $40. They're going on StubHub for like $200. So I'm telling Kevin, hey, is your Via Rail ticket refundable? I can flip these tickets and make some money if you want. And he's like, no, I can't get a refund on my Via Rail. I'm coming down and watch this game, so I'm not canceling the tickets. And then this Omicron, and we go back into lockdown. And the way they kind of tell us lockdown is like, listen, so January 26th, and things are going to open up. Outdoor games, 50% capacity, but that's only until the 26th. Your match on the 30th. We're going to open it all. Don't worry. Faja relax. So I Faja relax nervously, and I sit back. Then they start kind of easing up. Kids go back to school. It's a couple weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, shit's happening, man. They're keeping their word. And then, Dougie, which is the premier in our province, comes out and says, yeah, we're opening everything up, man. Like I promised.
His name's Dougie.
Well, Doug.
Remember, got it.
Yeah,
got
Dougie,
it.
yeah.
No, good. No, we're good.
Fun story though. He's a Ford. His brother is that Ford guy that was the crackhead that was the mayor of Toronto that was showing up all over American TV at one point a few years back. Quite funny.
That dude's a legend, bro.
Yeah,
he's a legend down here in the States. I know.
Yeah, he died.
We love that guy down
crack.
here, though.
Yeah. This is his brother. His brother then took over the entire province, which is hilarious. The crackhead. He was like his enforcer, the brother. He was like the muscle. And the brother's the crack, and the guy just. So
the older brother's the wild guy. This one's he's the tough guy. I got it.
Anyway,
you guys are doing big things up there.
Big things. I don't know about that, but like, so this jackass, speaking about Dougie, he goes and comes out. Okay, yeah, we're gonna open it all up January 31st. Like the match is on the 30th, you asshole. You said the 26th. Team Canada comes out and says, hey, you said the 26th. He's like, yeah, I'm doing the 31st. Fuck off. So this is end of last week. And they're like, well, guys, only half capacity. We're going to do this. We're going to refund everyone's tickets. Everyone's going to get a special code this Tuesday morning. And everyone that bought tickets and everyone that wanted tickets that was paying crazy prices on the markup side on StubHub and all this shit, you get a chance to buy again at half capacity. So we're going to take ticket volume, cut it in half, and good luck to you guys.
Wow.
I got tickets this morning. I went on sale. I got it. Poor Kevin.
It feel to be God's favorite?
I am God's favorite. I know a lot of people that didn't get tickets. Unfortunately, they're not well loved by God. But yeah, Kevin was like sweating bullets, man. He's told his missus, I bought these Villarreal tickets. I'm going all the way from Quebec to my town for a day to watch a match. And I'm like, buddy, I got a good TV. We can order some takeout. We'll just chill at my place. We got tickets. He's not really overly excited for that journey. He wants to go to the match. So we got tickets, man. So I can't wait, man. I can't wait. So I'm excited. I got completely sidetracked it.
Good luck.
But,
I'll be watching.
we're missing Davies and some other guys, and it'll be a tough match, man. The Americans, I'd say, are favorites, but you never know.
Yeah, we're gonna win.
But if Canada doesn't win, it's the guy's fault, man. It's the guy's fault.
We're gonna win.
If Canada doesn't win, it's the guy's fault.
If you guys don't win, you know who to blame, guys.
It's the guy's fault.
It's his fault, exactly.
And if we win, you can say fucking Portish's always fucking up my team.
Always fucking it up. Yep. It was so nothing will change. Nothing will change. So either way, we're good.
All right, man. All right, show you some match. Let's get this going. All right, man. Charisse, the defense line. All right, guys, you know the drill. Charisse the match, play the match, player of the match. Do you want to do a little different? We kind of each, do, let's say, our player, then we each do our play, and then we each do our Charisse. Do it that way?
Let's do it that way. That sounds good.
Switch it up a little bit. And I'll just start this first one. I'll go with the player of the match for me has to be Odysseus because Otis saved our ass all game long. So, special shout out for the great goal that Everton did and some of the other things that are out there. And Weigl had an amazing game and stuff. But to me, Odysseus.
Yeah. I will say also that he was a fucking brick wall today. Odysseus was. So I will too. I will also. I'm also gonna give that.
I wasn't looking, man.
I'm gonna give that.
Brick wall, man. I get the reference.
Yeah, he's a fucking brick wall today. Nothing's getting past him. The penalty, it was what it is. What it is. That first penalty that he gave up. So can't be too mad. But definitely, the guy was a brick, and I'm giving my man of the match to Odysseus for sure.
Yeah, man. Perfect, man. You want to kick off the play of the match for yourself?
My play of the match. Let me go ahead fix this. Fuck it. I'll run with the rock wall. My player of the match. My play of the match. I wanted to give it to Everton's goal, but I'm gonna give it to Odie's save, where he kind of reaches all the way back.
It's going in.
Yeah. He reached all the way back, and he was able to secure that save. And man, I promise you, I thought that we were gonna suffer another goal, and I don't know how he got that extra couple inches on him, but he definitely did, and that to me was the play of the match for sure in my mind.
Yeah, man, we're singing off the same page almost today. I'm gonna just to differentiate a little bit because I'm agreeing with you. But I'll go with the Everton goal because but both of those plays were amazing. It was outstanding what Odie did. It was shocking. For me, Everton was just more the hustle, the bustle, what we said earlier. Man, he's getting tugged on the shirt. He's getting kind of bullied a little bit behind, and he just muscled his way down that center and blasts a shot right at the keeper and blows him out of the water. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it quite a bit, man. And then Charisse, man. Charisse, this is one I struggled with, man. You want to start off with Charisse for yourself?
Yeah, that's easy for me. I'm gonna give it to Yaremchuk again. A striker is supposed to score goals. You know what I mean? He's not scoring goals at all. And call it what you want, whether he's getting service or not. I mean, at some point, you have to demand the ball at a spot. If you want the ball with your back towards the goal, you got to let your player know. You got to let Everton know. You got to demand it. You know what I mean? I'm tired of the soft, dilly-dallying around. If you're a striker, you want to get the ball. I need the ball. This is where I fucking want the ball. Put it fucking here, right? I'm really the man running the shit. Like that's how in my mind. He should be like the wide receiver of the team, right? Give me the ball. I'm always open. Always. I don't give a fuck. You always hear that the best wide receivers in the NFL will always tell you they're open. They're open. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm open. Get me the fucking ball. It doesn't matter who's on me. Right? Get me the ball where I want it. And I think he just needs to be more vocal about where he wants the ball, how he's receiving the service. If he's got a problem with how he's receiving service into the box, you need to talk to your teammates so you can come up with something else. When you do get the ball, maybe it's not where you want it, and maybe that's where you're lacking. But my goalie, my striker needs to score goals, plain and simple. And yeah, Carlos Vinicius is better than Roman, maybe in the Portuguese league. You know what I mean? Definitely. It's been proven. 20 goals a couple seasons ago for Benfica. I'll take that any day of the week. But right now, he's the shitty. Players don't speak Ukrainian. That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, there has to be some sort of like, communication, right? Even if you have to play fucking charades, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Be out there acting and shit. Hey, I want you to put the ball here. Your leg, put the ball here. Put shit here. You know what I mean? Like, act this shit out. Put some fucking, put some emphasis on what you want. I don't give a shit if he's Ukrainian or not. I guarantee if he start barking and shit in his language, they would know what the fuck he was talking about anyways. It doesn't matter if they don't understand him. They would, I know what he's talking about. He wants to get the ball. This is where he wants the ball. Everton and Rafa, they'd get their fucking shit together real quick. And yeah. I'm not saying to bully him, but I mean, you have to let him know. You know what I mean? Like, turn it up a notch, bro.
I still feel there's potential with Chuck, and where I kind of struggle a bit. I was really disappointed with Diogo Gonzalez. I just think the guy has so much potential and he's not living up to it. But you know what? I am going to agree with you. And I just to kind of echo what you were doing earlier, from a brick wall to brick shoes, man. That's kind of what Chuck kind of feels like. He feels like he's got to get those brick shoes off. He's got to move a bit more. Man. He's got to be more, a little bit more fluid. He needs to kind of take advantage of some of these plays. Sometimes he just seems a little stagnant. So
Chuck? Even if
Chuck,
he doesn't,
Chuck, yeah, I agree with Chuck, yeah.
Even if he's not fluid, brother. Even if he's not fluid, I don't care if you
got to tap him in. You got to get him in.
You got to tap him in, but use that size. Use that size to get up in there, man. Like, lean on somebody. I never seen him lean on nobody. Use that size to get where you want in the box, bruh. If I was him, I wouldn't let nobody would touch me in the box. I would get the ball. I would say, this is where I want the ball, and I'm dribbling through. I'm putting hands out. I'm pushing people off me just enough to where I'm not getting fouls, but I'm definitely letting you know that I'm in the motherfucking box. He don't got that presence. Like I said, looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane.
There you go, man.
That's the shitties.
That's the shitties. That's a good shitties. And then a final shits and giggles laugh, because I saw this week, and I'm assuming some of you guys saw this, but I just thought it was fucking hilarious. You see what Neymar did to Mbappe this fucking past week? You hear about this?
I did not.
You did not hear this? This is a dirty move.
Girlfriend or something?
I don't know if it's worse, but Mbappe, let's
his
say
mom?
Mbappe needed to relieve himself, and he decided to do it in the sauna. So he gets his cell phone out, pants off, getting an old wank, and Neymar comes in and snaps a photo of him caught in the act and posts on Instagram.
Damn, bro.
That is yeah, he's going to Real Madrid, so Neymar's like, yeah, you're not sticking around. Fuck you.
You know what, though?
That's a dirty ball, man. That's a dirty ball. You don't do that to
yeah, that's shady business. You know what, though? If I'm Mbappe, I don't give a shit.
My empathy level is so low because the guy's sitting on millions upon millions and lives in a mansion. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm arguably top 3 best players in the world. You know what I mean? Like, if you argue what you want, you know what I mean? That's crazy though. That's
that's fucked, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I would care. Like, we definitely gonna have some words, but I wouldn't care like if somebody said something to me. Like, oh, that's what you was doing. I'm like, shut up. Like,
no.
However they say it in French, just start, I don't know. I don't even want to start making voices and shit, but yeah, that's crazy. Neymar is a sick character. Them Brazilians, they're like that. They're
a little
weird. Yeah, they're a little weird. They're a little.
Yeah,
too many mangoes.
So sometimes when they talk about locker room issues, man, yeah, if those locker rooms showed up, that kind of showed up in our friggin' locker room, would be, what's going on.
So when you said, what I'm not understanding though is like, and I don't want to ask it. I mean, I don't want to seem ignorant or anything or like immature.
That's why they were.
But like when you said that he needs to relieve himself, like, did he go take a piss in the pool or did he go jack off?
He did a wank from
He
South.
jacked off. He was jacking off with a puff coat on. That's crazy, bruh. I never in my life. That's the first time I ever.
Now it could have been
If you
maybe
jack
he
off in a puff coat, bruh, you a sick individual, bruh. Like, forget. At least I would be more.
Now it could have been the guy was just. Maybe the guy was just chilling. He was cold. And he was just chilling with his legs in the sauna.
But it looks like he was.
And he's got a cell phone. It looks like he's doing a wank. At least that's what Neymar was insinuating, which was.
I got you. I feel that though. I feel that. I mean, but yeah, you got to be a real sick son of a bitch to be jerking off in a puff coat, bro.
Oh yeah, man.
It's a puff coat. How you gonna be jacking off in a puff coat, bro? In the bath, in a hot bath, bro. You got a puff coat in the hot bath. And you jacking off, your temperature, body levels must be through the fucking roof. You know how hot I get just jacking off in a t-shirt? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like, you're jacking off in fucking
a hot sauna.
In a hot sauna, bro. Like, it makes absolutely no sense, bro. Them French are different, bro. The French are different.
He needed some assistance to heat up. Let's just say that.
Yeah. I break a sweat in a wife beater. You know what I mean? Like, in the middle of spring. You know, I'm sweating. That's crazy. That's how Canadians do it in the snow. Yeah, if you're out there in the snow.
Where's the medical team, man?
I was in the snow, and the last thing I thought about doing in the snow was jacking off. I'll tell you that right now. I'll tell you. It's the last thing I thought.
That's the last thing you want to do in the cold.
The last thing
whip
you
out
want
your
to
unit, man. That is.
I'm telling you.
I've been on like back in the younger days when I had the slick hair, and you go on a bender on the weekends with the boys, and you're out. You know, it's fucking winter and shit. And you gotta take a leak.
Yeah, it's winter 365 in Canada. To me, I don't think the snow ever
warms up. It warms up. We go weird. Canada's weird. It goes from like tundra cold to stupid hot in the summer, and like non-existent spring and fall. That's why we're all kind of fucked up. But anyways, man, it's who's the guy on the toilet jacking off?
Hey, I got a question about Canada, real quick.
Yeah,
do you guys still have to buy your beer at the beer store?
It's called the beer store. Yes. Now, no. We got some freedom. So Dougie, going back to
my boy Dougie, them beer cans out.
Dougie might have screwed up on the whole Team Canada and opening up the friggin' stadium, but Dougie allowed the grocery stores to sell beer now. So now we got some competition in Canada. Either you go to the beer store, as it's called in Canada.
I heard the beer store people were not very fun to deal with. They're very.
Well, it's like you can only go to the beer store or the LCBO, which is the Liquor Control Board of Canada, or the fuck it stands for, which is another shitty government.
Quebec, yeah, I'm sure they do.
Yeah, here's the beer store. It's literally called the beer store, and this is what they look like, man. This is exactly what they look like.
Now, is it still run by the government?
No, this one is run by a conglomerate of beer companies that the government gave a license to sell the beer in Ontario, and they had this monopoly. But now.
We're so gonna beat you guys this weekend. We're so gonna win.
I don't know, man. People that get this oppressed have some anger issues and take it out on the pitch. So you just never know. Right?
That's true, bro.
They take it out and fuck. That's why hockey they get so violent. The Canadians are so nice, and then they get in these heated situations. They go, that heated up, eh? You okay? You need some ice?
That heated up, hey. That's heated up. So Portugal, is it like that? Like you could you
can buy liquor wherever you want.
Portugal.
You can buy beer everywhere in Portugal.
Got it.
You take the kid to daycare and they're selling you a cerveja on the side there.
On the street, right? You don't need a. Do you need a permit?
I don't know.
You got Karens. Are there Karens in Portugal who call?
No, they got Marias. They got Marias, man.
Do they want permits and? We're getting off.
No. I don't think they're permits. They're just gonna bitch you out if you're not on their good books. You know.
When I go to Canada, I'm gonna go to the beer store and get I just need a 6-pack and a puff coat, and it's a good time for me in Canada.
and a hot tub.
And a fucking hot tub, yeah, up to my knees. Just give me a warm tub. This doesn't even need to be a jacuzzi type. That's crazy.
Just the warm pool of water. Guys. No, it's fun. It's fun. It's okay. But in Portugal, it's cheaper to get a beer than a bottle of water at the restaurant.
Oh yeah,
that's nice. But in Canada, it's the opposite, man. In Canada, you get like a bottle of water, you spend like $5-6 on a beer. It's fucking disgusting.
I'm currently in save mode for my trip for a couple trips next year. Portugal's definitely on my save mode, so we're definitely working to get there next year, guys. So definitely be ready for that. Talk about premium content, bro. We're gonna have to. I'm like vlogging that whole trip. I'm gonna get me a nice camera.
He's gonna get like a GoPro on his
Yeah.
fucking forehead like this.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes, he's gonna be like fucking. Or have you seen? There's this guy. He's a nice guy, dopey as fuck, but nice guy. He likes trains. He's a British guy, and he has a camera, and he has the camera. But he points at himself, but the camera's on his head, and it just points down. So it gets this most fucked up angle. His head looks. And he's unfortunately he's a little slow, but he's a very nice guy. He's a very nice guy, likes trains, and he records these videos of him going train tracks and cheering for the trains. It's very cute, but I'm an asshole because I also laugh. I'll send you a video of this guy later on, but it's nice. It's very nice, man. They do nice things for him. They let him ride a train and shit like that. They honk the train at him. It's nice things. But
good for him. Good for him. You know, the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then, right? Hey, Zachary. Zachary, I'm the same, bro. I haven't been to Portugal. Next year I plan on going.
You got to give lots of notice.
I will.
I'm gonna move heaven and earth.
My grandmother is very adamant. She likes to go. So if we go, it'll be September. It'll be August, September. So in August they do the. Is it the end or is it September? When is it?
But would you go? You go to San Miguel?
She wants to do this. They do this Nossa Senhora de Fatima thing, or like this.
Yeah, they do Snotty de Fatima
every month. Yeah, it's every day. Yeah,
it's every Tuesday in some freguesia. They get the soul push out, and it's a Senhora de some guy, Senhora de Tio Manuel.
Hey, me and my grandmother are talking about this. Me and my boy are talking about this. And both tells me, she says in Portuguese, she's telling me, she wants to go to this festival that they're having for Nossa Senhora de Fatima. And I kid you not, brother, we have the same conversation. I said, Grandma, it's fucking Nossa Senhora de Fatima Day every day. Like they're in Portugal. When are they not doing some sort of like fair or some parade? She's like, yeah, you're right. But this one, and then she tells me how this one's like different.
They are all special though. They're all sometimes like they all have it, but each one is so unique and so cool. But would you be going to? I know you got family in San Miguel. Would you go to Açores for a little bit, or would you go?
So that's what it is. So I will be going to the A. So I do have family in San Miguel, so I will go to San Miguel to go there first to go see the motherland, right? To see the island.
But would you do like it depends on timing. Like if you're there for like a week or two, because it's like $90 or $100 to go.
I know. That's what we already. Yeah. So my aunt, I have an aunt who also lives in it's a city north of Lisbon. I think she's in. I forget where she's at. I want to say. No, it's a bigger city. It's a bigger city than that.
Academica city, like in that area, Lleida, Aveiro.
I think she's in a. Let me see. Yeah, I'd have to look at a map.
I don't want to go Pico. That is a mountain. It's kind of cool. I bet my mom's from Terceira. I've seen Pico from the one in Terceira. You can see the tiny Pico popping up. It's a nice big ass mountain. I'd love to go check it out. But yeah, like depending on the deal, just let me know. Regardless, it'll be very cool. Cool.
She's a little further than that. That's where she's from. She lives. She's a lot further. She's not north of it. My grandma's tripping. I'm gonna have to talk to my grandma. My aunt, I think she lives in Stubble.
That's south of Lisbon.
South. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at right now. Yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I have to look. I'll let you guys know. Yeah. I'll update you guys the next show. I'll call grandma. She's probably still up doing some weird shit. She's probably looking at my grandmother. Does anybody else's Portuguese grandma have an addiction to the home shopping network? Because golly, my grandmother is addicted, bro. She sent me this random like stereo like not too long ago. Yeah. It's this big box. It has my name on it, and it says home shopping network on there, right? And it can only mean one thing. My grandmother got me something. So I called my grandmother, and she got it for me. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain.
That's it. Like,
it's hard to explain what it is. Like it's a retro stereo that has a CD player, Bluetooth, and a light show. Like it's
has a little light show.
Yeah.
Does it pulse music?
Yeah, I mean it's a real. I could charge it. I could charge it for 3 hours. And you know, it's
It's a thing.
it's a thing. Yeah.
It's a
So
thing.
in Ponta Delgado. So my family's from Ponta Delgado.
Oh, that's nice, man.
where,
That's nice.
Yeah, that's where they're from. They asked in the chat, so I want to let you know. So in San Miguel, that's where they're from. Ponta Delgado. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, man. I tell you, when you go to Portugal, the amount of demand for mellow time when you go to Portugal, because all the people are going to want to see you, and you know, everything goes properly. I'd love to be somewhere around that vicinity.
I'll let you know.
And just the amount of stuff that you're going to have to try cram in. So it all depends on time, man. But the more time you get, the merrier, because there's just so much stuff to do. Even in Açores, San Miguel is a beautiful island. They got the Quintal de Jardim and all this other stuff they got there. That's beautiful. But you go to the Terceira, they're doing the bullfighting there. And it's just fucking madness. You go on the streets.
Oh, no. I'm going to be there. When I go, I'm going to be there for like 3 weeks. Like it's not gonna cheat.
I've done that before. That's sick. I've done that. You basically live in Portugal.
Yeah, because I want to go to Portugal, hang out in San Miguel, see everything I want to see. Go to Lisbon, watch a match, and then go back, to San Miguel. Like that's how I want to end the trip. You know what I mean? Eating fucking all types of crustaceans and crabs.
Lapas, man. You get some lapas.
Lapas. I've been hearing about this shit forever.
That's like the unique delicacy out there, man.
But I will let you guys know exactly where I'll be at in Portugal when I go. Next week I'll update on where my aunt lives and all of that. As a matter of fact, I'll text my grandmother and she'll let me know. So yeah, man, it'll be fun. So my next year mine will be my first time.
Your first time. That'll be good, man. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. And then eventually I get you up to Canada. We'll try to find a point in the time of the year where it's not freezing cold, unless you guys want to see the snow. But I don't see you as like a snow bunny. If you don't take it the wrong way.
I just don't want to get trapped. I don't want to get trapped. My last time I went to the snow, I was trapped, and as long as I'm not trapped anywhere or snowed in,
you gotta watch out for those mooses.
Yeah, and I can't wait to go to the beer store.
The beer store, right? You gotta fucking lose your shit, and it's it's pretty fun. But anyways, BA90 trip. It says since you put it in the chat, that is something we'll plan out for sure. I gotta get you a puff coat. What Alex bejeweled on the back, or Mr. Mello bejeweled on the back of the puff coat.
Yeah. It's gonna be a nice puff coat. It's gonna be like a North Face. If I'm gonna pull one off, it's gonna be an expensive shit. Yeah, it's gotta be a legit.
It can't be no shitty ass knockoff Canada Goose type one, right?
It cannot.
It's. But yeah, man, you guys, thank you so much. Keep an eye out for the Hot Ones video. I know I played it earlier. There's just a little clip. We'll get it out on the public eye sooner or later. But we got a lot of stuff going on right now with the sporting coming up. So we'll see depending on the schedule. But yeah, maybe I'll get it sometime this week before the sporting match. But I'll get it out there for you guys. Good laugh. It's a good laugh. It's quite fun. A little silliness. But yeah, outside of that, man, I can't wait. Exciting week, man. Team Canada plays Benfica against maybe Santa Clara. Let's hope it's Benfica versus Santa Clara in the Taça final, man. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. You never know, man. You never know. These guys. And then we get fucked up in Santa Clara. No one likes Santa Clara anymore.
I know how that goes. I have a Santa Clara kit. I mean, and the reason I do is because I saw it and it was so nice. The back of it says Açores, and I was like, how do I not buy it? And it has like the Benfica logo. Like it's basically the old Benfica. Like it's just the Benfica logo with, SDC or some shit like that on it. You know what I mean? So I bought it. I have one, but I won't be wearing it that day. But when I go to Portugal, I definitely will be.
Yeah, definitely. Sure, especially in San Miguel, man. You'll be like, they'll be loving it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. You guys have a great night. We'll talk soon. He'll be watching the Villarreal. Yeah, that's on his way to my place when he's coming down from Quebec. He'll be on the Villarreal station watching that match, and then we'll have all the fun chat about that. All right, guys, take care. We'll talk soon. Okay, peace.